Hey everybody, my name is Kristen and most of y'all know me by K Riots on MyFitnessPal or from my Facebook page, Powerrawkfitness. So, yeah, my name is Kristen. Hello everybody. And I'm doing this video because I have 2 months before I graduate college, and I mean, it's a huge deal, and you're like, congratulations, and I thank you for that, but it was a long struggle to get there. Like, my story briefly is, I basically paid my way through my my college for my associates. I was a single mom. I was on food stamps. I was on welfare, and I mean, before I had my baby, I had no electricity. I slept at different places. I was very poor. I've been out on my own since I was 18 years old, and I made that decision on my own, and I never looked back. And it was a hard decision, but, it humbled me, and it made me to the hardworking, hardcore person I am today. So, throughout those years, being a single mom and going through the trials and tribulations of all those hard work hours of 40-plus hours, working from 3 in the afternoon to 11 at night, plus grabbing nachos, tacos, hamburgers, eating them 2 o'clock in the morning, I gained weight. And I got myself in track because, I was an athlete. I used to play basketball. I even played in community college, and I played volleyball pretty much like my whole life. And, fitness has always been around my life, eating healthy, eating food. I don't have a problem with drinking water because the choices were water, or you want ice water, or do you want water with no ice? Like, if you got a lemon, that was cool. And maybe iced tea if it was like really fancy, we went out to eat. So I don't have a problem with water, right? But I had a problem with food, and it was eating out. And I grew up with my dad when, previous from that, so he didn't get to go out to eat all the time when he was young, so we went out to eat a lot. So when I moved out on my own, even though I was poor, that was a comfort thing for me, was eating out when I could. And we all know when you eat out, you don't know what's in there, and you're young, and you gain it, and, had the baby, everybody gained weight, but I had, gestational diabetes. Now, when I finally lost my weight, went through all that, working out on my own, being poor, being on the ramen diet, all that stuff, and got pregnant, right? I was 125, 130 pounds, skinny fat, because I lost all the weight by working at Ross, walking around for many hours working. But I got pregnant, I got gestational diabetes, went from 125, 129 to 212 pounds, okay? I'm 5'6.5", that's a lot. Yeah, that was a lot of weight. So, and that took a long time to get out, maybe 1.5 years. And I finally got in a good place when I turned 25. I had my daughter at 23. And so when I was 25, I met my husband, that is Tanae, wonderful man who is into working out, who's always been to fitness, who's a runner, who always eats natural by own because he learned it his way. So, he helped me adapt that. So, flash forward to now, I got pregnant again with my second. Didn't gain that much weight, but, still the habits of going out to eat, the comfort, was there. So, and then again, lost weight. You notice it's, pattern here, yo-yo. That's basically what people mean when they say yo-yo diet. You go from here, you go from down there, and a little bit around. Walking the dog, yo-yo, I did little corny jokes, get used to it. Okay, so, yeah, that happened. And we did P90X together. And it was so cool, and it was so hard, and it was amazing how I felt. But then we finished it right before October, and you got Halloween, and then November you got Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, and then New Year's, and pow, I was back where I started. I gained that 20-something pounds again. I was like, oh my gosh. So June of 2012, I was like, not this year. Not going to happen. I'm going to prepare. And that's what I did. And I lost again that 20-something pounds, and I'm up to a 23-pound loss. But now, I got a different mindset where I'm out clean eating. I'm very aware of what goes into my body. I'm very positive on my outlook of fitness. I see what is attractive differently. I don't see skinny. I don't see fitting into these skinny pair of jeans, even though, of course, yeah, we all like to fit into a quote unquote skinny pair of jeans. I see, differently. I see muscle. I see, women that are strong. I see women that are lifting heavy weights. I see women that are running, and they're beasts. They're goddesses. They're in domain, and they're running families. They're going to full-time school. I mean, everybody has a very unique story, and they're doing it. And I'm doing it too. So, and here is my deal to keep me on focus is I'm graduating back to where I was starting, like my little struggle. A little small word for it. But anyways, graduating with a bachelor's of human resources May 12th. So today is March 7th, 2013. And I got a little over 12 months to kick it up in high gear. And that's my goal. And what my goal is not really a number. It's really a strength just to kind of be the fittest I could be at that moment, at that time in my life, of the ultimate success that I've bit, tooth and nail everything to go for, I'm going to get it. And I'm going to document my journey on it. And again, like I said, I have a Facebook page called Powerrawkfitness, and how I got onto that is I am a musician. I'm a self-taught guitar player. I've been playing since I was 13 years old. I have electric guitar, I have an acoustic guitar, I have all these kinds of guitars. I play drums, I play bass, I sing. Rock and roll is in my heart, and that's my love, and I love punk rock. So, yeah, and my grandmother, who recently, she's going through a lot right now, and some of y'all who know or have been following me know about that, and she used to go on these power walks, these power march walks, and I remember thinking about this Facebook page, and I was thinking, like, I'm going to stay true to myself, like, everybody's all about fitness and all this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm all about fitness, and kind of like a rocker chick, it's like, whatever, like punk rock, I like music, I mean, that's true to my roots, but what else is true to my roots, right? And thinking about my grandma, because she's always like, come on, Mija, we're going to go on this power walk, so, put the three together, and thus, Powerrawkfitness. So, you can see my before and after pictures, you could see fitness tips that I learned. I recently got a trainer because I wanted to do better form. Well, I went to him and he's like, what are you doing here? Your diet's on spot, your exercise is on spot, it's just a matter of time. And I said, I know that, I just want to make sure that I'm doing the proper form. So that's what I'm seeing him for. I see him once a week for an hour, and I'm just learning basic form, and it's really cool because, I have less knee injury now, so I also post stuff about that, what I learned from my trainer. I post that on there.